Happy day. Yeah, good man. Good. Sorry, 1 second. I think my girlfriend is just looking for something. What are you looking for? There's your key there. Sure. Here with me. See you later. Sorry about that.
There we go. Now it is. There we
You're
go.
not in Canada anymore.
What?
You're
No, I
not in
said
Canada anymore.
no. I am in Canada. Sorry, I moved cities. I'm not.
Oh, damn.
I'm in London, Ontario, not UK. But
London,
it's not.
Ontario, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy, mate. There's a London out in Canada.
yeah. There is.
Is
It's
it big or
nice.
is it a small place?
It's like 400,000 people here. It's not
Okay.
that big.
That's not bad.
I'm just starting. I went to a rave yesterday, first time here, second time. Well, and it was good. It was Marcus Schultz. I didn't stay the whole time. I'm not a trance person,
Yeah.
so I
Is it
kind of.
trans? What's the scene like over there? Like, what sort of like, what's like, I guess the sort of music that people listen to if you like typically go out clubbing?
It's mostly like tech house,
Tech
bass.
house.
Yeah, like tech house, which is not for me. Not really. I don't like tech house that much. I think it attracts a certain type of person, and it's
Yeah,
not
I
the
agree. I
best. Yeah,
agree. I don't mind some tech house tracks, but I think it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's my crowd. It's a bit too like tight t-shirt sort of vibes.
yeah. Frat boys,
Yeah, yeah. It's the
pretty
same here,
much.
to be honest. It's
Really?
quite popular here as well, but you get a bit of everything. Like I feel like in the UK, there's a bit of a split between like, the sort of underground clubbing scene and I guess the more mainstream like house and all that stuff. But I feel like the underground scene in itself is almost mainstream as well because it's so big, if that makes sense. So it's like it's not really that underground, I guess.
I thought there were like new law. I don't know. I saw some Vice documentary about some like laws in the UK that like made raves hard to organize and like host.
So I'm not, to be honest, I'm not sure exactly about laws and things like that, but since COVID, I think just people are not going out in general, so everything's a
Oh,
bit
okay.
like quieter. Like in Leeds, especially where I'm living, I think like since I've been living here 6 years, like since I've moved here, there's been like 6 or 7 clubs that have shut down. Like each year, there's pretty much one. So without fail, there's like a club shutting down a year, or multiple clubs shutting down in 1 year, or it's not great.
In Leeds.
Yeah, in
That's
Leeds,
that,
man.
that's just Leeds. Like it's all over the UK. It's clubs
It'll be
shutting down.
everywhere, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say elsewhere, but I know like Printworks closed in London, which was a big club for that sort of stuff. So, if that's closing down, then I imagine there's sort of closing down all over the country. Yeah,
I think, I think I've heard of Printworks. Is that was like a baseline club mostly? I think.
just drum and bass. I think that was a lot of drum
Oh.
and bass, man. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was big for drum and bass raves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one in London, Printworks. Yeah, and there was one in Sheffield. I think that was. I'm not sure if it's called Hopeworks or something like that, similar name. I think that might be closing down. There is closing down. Let me actually just double check. That is quite a big one. Yeah, it is closing. Yeah, yeah. Hopeworks is closing.
Hopeworks.
Oh,
Hmm.
it's closed in Feb, which is
Oh, okay.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's a big club as well. So yeah, mate, it's bad. It's really bad.
It's bad, huh? Yeah. They're starting to make laws in Canada, or they're trying to pass laws where it's like they're trying to raise noise complaint. How is it like fines from like 1,500 bucks to like 10.
Noise
So
complaints.
like the minimum fine is gonna like for a club noise complaint is gonna go from like 1,500 to 10,000. I heard this is in like
Oh, for a
Montreal.
club.
Yeah, for a club like for like anyone hosting an event of any sort. I
I think
I
that's ridiculous. I don't see how that benefits anyone, man. I feel like, to be honest, bro, I feel right now in the UK, I know the club industry is just not really making any money, like at all. Like, because everyone doesn't really buy drinks when they go out, or they're just not going out full stop. I think the drop has been something like the night industry used to make like 22 billion or whatever a few years ago, and now it's making like 5 billion or something a year. Like the drop's insane, and it's kind of shit for everyone involved because like promoters are leaving, club owners are going, then like artists and stuff haven't got anywhere to play. So
Oh,
loads of people are stopping doing music. Like I know so many guys who are really fucking good, doing pretty well with music that just don't release, don't produce, just don't do anything because obviously they didn't get the opportunity, and they feel like it's maybe a bit of a waste of time. So it's like,
that's true. I mean, like I've seen a lot of people. What happened to Jasper? If you remember him, I think you know.
yeah, it's funny you
uh,
mentioned, bro. It's
What?
funny you mentioned. Yeah, bro.
Uh,
I know him a little bit. I spoke with him a little bit when I was starting to make like UK bass, and I think he just got pissed off that his tunes weren't really getting the sort of traction that he was hoping for, and he
mhm,
moved into a different direction. And I think he's doing pretty well now because he's a super talented producer. Like he was really good at making UK bass, but I think he sort of started releasing just as the genre was dying. So just one of those unfortunate things. I feel like if he released maybe like 5 years earlier or something, like he would have been absolutely flying with it. But yeah, I think he makes trap beats now for like pretty decent artists.
yeah, I've
Like
seen.
it's
I've
sort of
seen. He makes rap beats, right? Like
yeah, he makes pretty
for
good ones. They're pretty
yeah,
like unique. They're very like they're like almost I don't want to say like trippy red or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very
yeah.
spacey. Like yeah,
I was shocked. I went on SoundCloud one day. I wanted to listen to one of his songs. I was like, they're gone. They're just not
they're
there.
all gone. Yeah.
And then
They're all gone.
I DM'd him and he sent me like the private links to them. I'm like, oh, thank you. But like this,
It's kind of crazy that that whole UK bass scene though. Like, it's actually really sad what happened to it, man. Because I mean, I fucking love that genre. I think it's great. I've still got like UK bass tracks that I'm gonna release at some point.
mhm,
That I made like years ago, just because I think they're sick and you know. But as a genre, man, that was huge for like since like from 2018 to like 2021 or something, and then just fucking gone. Like, there's nothing now. Like, there's
yeah,
no labels pushing it. It's dead.
yeah.
It's
What
literally
happened?
dead. Like,
Shit happened to like
mate,
Ranky died. Ranky died. I don't know what happened to them. These.
every label died, bro. I was one of the last. I think I was actually the last. Like, so I released on Crewcast 2 years ago,
Oh,
and it was the last Shake the Bass or like, because you know how they used to do the compilations, like the Shake the Bass compilations and all that
uh,
stuff.
yeah.
I think I was in the last one ever, and they stopped pushing that whole thing. So I think as soon as like Crewcaster kind of stopped pushing it, and the big labels stopped pushing it,
Mhm.
like it fell off, and then I feel like also, if I'm being brutally honest, there was like a bit of like, it was too cliquey at the top. Like people weren't really allowed to progress. So like artists such as Hoda, you know, people like that who you know their songs and love their songs really weren't getting a good opportunity for gigs and progression and things like that. Even you know artists like Distinct and stuff like that, you see them struggling a bit more for gigs. It's mate, it's pretty tough. It's I think it shows as well, like momentum in music. If it falls off, it's so quickly just to disappear. But I have a feeling it'll come back in like 2 or 3 years, like every genre does eventually.
I think there's just like booking politics in every scene everywhere. I think this just makes no sense at all. Who's getting gigs sometimes? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
that's true. I don't know what it's like over there for you guys.
I don't know. It's like mostly just like it's like people have their friend groups play, you know? It's like
Yeah,
if you're not
it's cliquey.
if you're not it's clicky as hell. And if you're
Yeah,
new to a city or if like you don't know anyone there, it's hard. You know,
you have
it,
to really grind. I remember when I used to gig a lot, like locally, just as a local DJ or whatever. The only reason I got those gigs was because I did ticket scanning at Mint Warehouse,
mhm,
became friends with the promoters. The promoters, I told the promoters I DJ all this stuff.
yeah.
They got me like an opportunity, and then sort of from there I got a few gigs. But it's like, you know, it is still you having to really, you know, that's quite lucky that that happened like that. And you know, I was very fortunate to get the opportunity when I was a bit younger, just to get myself the confidence and stuff. But I mean, can imagine that doesn't happen for a lot of people. Like I've got so many mates who are much better DJing at the time than I was that weren't getting any gigs. It's definitely not like your ability nowadays. It's so much more.
I got my first gig with like barely any DJ experience. I was like really bad. But like they just gave it to me. I was like, okay, sick, I'll open, but I didn't know how to use CDJs or anything. I was using
Yeah,
sync. I was using sync because I couldn't beat match. Well, I was doing like
I think some guys are still doing that now. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think
yeah,
that's still happening nowadays, dude.
that's a huge thing. Yeah, sync button gets a lot of action. But it's just like and then eventually I progressed, and now it's been like 4 years of DJing, almost five, and
Mm.
now I don't get nearly as much like recognition or like gigs as I did when I first started. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It's like as you think
Yeah,
as you get better, you get more, right? It's just
yeah. It's not like that in music. It's
it's
I'm starting
not.
to realize that. I think especially like moving away from like the DJing side of things and like releasing music side of things, like a lot of it really is the promotion, like and that's something that I've really neglected myself. I think so. It's yeah, it's you have to know how to promote yourself as well as being able to make something or DJ or produce or anything. Like you kind of have to just network more than anything.
Yeah, producing, I'm still really bad at that. Just like I was really bad when I was starting production or DJ. I mean, I'm getting better.
But you
Like,
can see the progress though, do you
yeah,
know what I mean? And like that progress is just going to be gradual and gradual until eventually like, you'll be at a level where you're really happy with and it's one of those where your skills can always improve, but I feel like the difficult thing is all the stuff outside of that because it's if you like making music, you'll always want to progress and learn new techniques and do shit. 'Cause that's fun. You'll just do that
it's
anyway.
fun. Yeah, it's
But
fun.
the promotion side of things is tough because no one really teaches you that, and you kind of have to just hope that people relate or that the algorithms pick you up or whatever. And it's just like, it's a difficult one, I think.
People always tell me, "Oh, just make more content." I don't like making content. I feel cringy. I don't want to make these fucking stupid reels and post them, man. And when I
If it's
do,
not genuine, yeah, that's what I struggle with. Like, I feel like I'm happy to, post like once or twice when my tunes release. Be like,
yeah,
hey guys, my new track's out. Let them know. That feels genuine. That doesn't feel forced. But if I'm having to like, post like every day of the week to hope that one of the seven posts will get into the algorithm, and I don't want to do that, but I'm kind of gonna have to do that. I think going forward because it's also you're doing yourself a disservice making all this music, creating all this stuff, putting all these hours DJing and not promoting yourself as well. Like when
yeah,
you could be raking in the fruits of your labor a bit more. So you just have to be honest with yourself about it, unfortunately. But it's
yeah.
annoying as
It's
fuck.
just the urge to delete shit is so hard to like fight because it's just you look at it and you're like, this is so cringy. I don't want to post this shit, man. But you
Yeah,
just
yeah. I think one thing I learned is just I'll do it quickly, press this pause button, and I'll just not look at it or
yeah,
think about it.
exactly.
Just like throw the phone away. Like literally, I'll press
Throw
pause and fucking throw the
throw the
phone
phone
away.
away. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't even. Yeah. But have you ever looked at your old music on like and like analyze? Like I used to not even use like Insight or like Span or anything, and now I do. And like my monitors, I don't even use them anymore. I don't even think you can call them monitors. I think I showed you them one time. It was like my setup. My setup was like speakers, like pretty shitty speakers. I don't use them to mix anymore because I realized that it
Have you
wasn't
got headphones? Yeah. What headphones you rocking?
shitty ones, M20X's. But I have like I don't know how much it helps, but I use like a EQ correction on them to like fit it to
I know
Harman
the audio
curve.
technical one, M20X.
Yeah, Audio Technica. Yeah, like the
That'll be all
cheapest.
right. That'll be good enough for mixing, bro.
Yeah, it's just like I need to watch. Like what I've noticed with these ones is like I gotta make if the bass sounds quiet in these, it'll sound decent on anything else. Like the bass response, the low end is really weak on these. Oh,
It's, that's a case with a lot of headphones. They're a lot flatter than your monitors
yeah,
because the monitors are always just boom, boom, boom. They've always have that low end. Like I've got some KRKs and they're really loud in the low end, but that actually makes my tunes sound better than they actually are. So then I'll run them through my headphones and my bass might be weak as fuck, but that just means I have to bang it until I can actually hear it in the headphones, if that makes sense. Like if it can come through like on the flat response in the headphones, that means that it's punching loud, which is usually what you want. Not always, but
I've
usually.
just like noticed if I make it loud on these, that it's like too overpowering on like most
Yeah, I
things.
mean, you always have to cross-reference between different. I mean, the best test is always club test, or if you can get yourself a club system. Like here, we have like Pirate Studio, and I think it's Function 1 speakers that they have in those booths. I might be wrong. They might be not Function 1s, but they're pretty similar to a club setup. So if your tunes are sounding good on those, like they'll sound decent in the club.
Most club setups are like mono, if I'm not mistaken, right? All right.
Yeah, they are, but I don't quite understand all of that stuff because how could it just be fully mono? Like it wouldn't. Surely that wouldn't also work. But yeah.
I mean, when I go
As
to a
long
club,
you
I
always
see.
have to mix in mono though, because you definitely want if you're making stuff for the club, definitely mix in mono. But that's mainly to do with phasing, just to make sure that nothing is cancelled out, because you can really hear it if anything's phasing in mono, because then the sound just sounds super weak. But then as soon as you put it into stereo, it sounds full. But that's usually just phasing issues. That's why like span and stuff like that is super useful for mixdowns.
I learned that recently, really recently. And I'd say,
Yeah, if you're doing anything with more than one voice on Serum, get the span
yeah,
out straight away.
the unison voice. I was about to say when you add them and you add some detune, it goes to shit immediately. I don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't know how to
It
fix
can
this.
make
If it's
it, it can
fixed.
make or break it. Like, but if
Yeah.
I think as long as you do it with the span plugin next to it, you can always just dial it in.
Oh yeah, just mess around with the phase on the wavetable.
Yeah,
Okay.
just move the bend and the I don't know what the first one is, but you know like the first two knobs is the bend and something else. Just
Yeah.
move those until the span is always on the right. So like that little thing at the bottom that says like left to right, so that always stays on the right, and
Yeah.
then that means it's just fully
It's just
fully mono.
it's just always +1. Yeah. Got to keep it like not if it goes up and down. I've noticed that my songs where it goes up and down, it sounds like shit when I put the mono switch on. It's
Yeah, it can
yeah.
because the sounds cancel each other out. I don't
Yeah.
know how it works, but I think it just means the sound's traveling like that. So it's just, yeah,
I
it's
think it's
canceling each other.
a sound from the left and from the right clash and then they kind of just cancel out
I
maybe.
did technically go to uni for music, man, but I can't remember any of this shit now. So,
I don't I go to uni for chemistry, so I don't know shit all
oh,
about
very
it.
different, bro. Are you still
Yeah.
studying?
Yeah, yeah. I'm at like third year. Stop.
Third year,
Like
nice.
oh
How many years do you do the
like
three?
th
Is it 3 years that you're doing?
it's four. I'm like in my third and a half year, technically. So I have like three
Okay.
semesters left. It's not bad. It's not
Oh,
much left. I think I'm gonna do my master's too, because there's no way you can get a job with just a bachelor's here. It's too
yeah,
competitive.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, it depends what you do, man. I don't even use my degree at all. I work in sales, apart from music, so just
Okay.
you
I'm
just
still
got to
trying to
chat, mate. You can,
I moved here and I'm still on the job hunt. It's really rough, man. I did
yeah.
have a job in Calgary. I was doing window cleaning, and then yeah, that's kind of gone since I moved here. Well, and then
Mm.
so yeah, but I noticed some of my old songs. It's funny looking back and like the first ones I've made, like the really shitty ones, and I've noticed stuff like I mixed to like -2 LUFS and like what was I doing? Too loud, right? It's just like that. I think when you make stuff loud, it just automatically sounds better, right? And it's kind of
It depends.
mass.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. I remember even now, to be honest, like I always have to rein myself in when I go on my second mixing session because when I first produce, like the first sort of whenever I create the track for the first time, is I'll just bang it all out and then I'll just clip it. I'll put a sausage partner on my master or in a limiter or whatever, and then I'll just make sure it doesn't go above like 0 dB, like because that would yeah. But I always smash it bare loud, and I'll just tone it down a little bit later on in like the second mix down session because yeah, the ADHD brain goes crazy, man. I just want to make it loud and proud.
Is it sausage fan or is it a limiter? I've recently learned that it's like a
It's
limiter
different.
as
I
well.
think it's a combination of a lot of stuff, man. I think it's like a limit, saturate,
Yeah,
distortion, all mixed into one nice knob that just kind of cranks it all up. But when I put it on the master, I don't touch. So if you put sausage fattener on anything just without touching the knobs, it will just limit it, just brick wall it. So the sound won't go above 0 dB. So
yeah.
at itself, it just works as like a limiter, really.
I do that, and I've noticed. You showed me that actually, and I remember you showing me that, and
Yeah, it's a
I
bit of a
do it now.
cheeky one.
Yeah, I
It's
did. I
quite
was so
cool.
shocked. I was so shocked. I was like, and you said MPH does it. I was like, what? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they used to do it. I think obviously now they're a lot better than they were, you know, when they were sort of doing tutorials. I think a new bass, I know for a fact, did it for a long time, and I know Distinct, I think, did it as well for a while.
I talked to him on Instagram. He said he does that still. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, what
Uh,
Distinct? Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, you can hear it though. Like you can hear it in these productions because they're always super distorted and crunchy. And I remember like when I used to make UK bass, I had a few people ask me like, "Oh, how'd you get your mixes sounding like really crunchy and really like distorted as if it was like a style I was going for?" But I was just putting sausage fat on fucking everything, man. Like,
I was making a tune before I copped on this call, and I noticed something that when you put Fab Filter, you showed me the Faster Master preset, and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
when you like in FL the mix knob, right? If you turn it down even slightly, it sounds so off. But it needs to be either 100% off or 100% on with that. I've noticed with the
What the
fat
faster masterpiece there?
with the Saturn 2, like the mix knob in
Oh,
FL, not in the
on the master, if I put that on the master, I would usually just knock the mix down to like 20% or something, just
with
because like you don't want to fully saturate like everything, because everything would just go a bit crazy.
yeah
And then I also just try to rein in, because you know how when you first put it on,
yeah
it's got different bands and the volume bands.
mhm,
You always want to drop those down a bit because the initial preset just bangs them up really
yeah
loud.
too loud.
You always want to make sure that you like counteract for it, and then use your ears as much as you can, like just to tone it.
I don't know why I noticed though, but like when you change the mix in Saturn, it's fine. But if you change the mix level on FL in the plug-in chain, like with the knobs in the like chain on the side, it doesn't sound right. It just doesn't. But like if you turn the mix down in the Saturn 2 itself, it sounds okay. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
very
just
random. I mean, the processing chain as well, like especially when you're making tracks with a lot of stuff going on, sometimes it gets a bit confusing the order. So maybe that has something to do with it as well, but God knows. Yeah, mix downs are a fucking long one, man. I feel like I've been like producing for 4 years, 4 or 5 years now. Um, and like still learning a lot about mixes all the time, and I probably will till the day I die.
I'm coming on like a year and like a few months, I think.
Yeah, man, making good progress there. Definitely,
Yeah.
like since the first few tracks you
Oh
said,
man. Oh man. Just Jesus. I thought.
we're looking back at those, bro. I feel like that's everyone. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh jeez, man. Those ones were fun to make, but I look back and I cringe that I thought they were good. What the hell, man?
bro.
Uh.
Bro, I remember when I first like completed my UK bass track, I sent that off to like every label, and obviously got rejected from every label because it was pretty trash.
Mm.
And you know, looking back at it, like eventually you'll get accepted on labels and people will start listening. But man, yeah, I definitely tried to shoot a bit early, I think, with my music. But fuck it, it's fun. It's a journey, and like now, when you get to like a level where you sort of feel like you know you really enjoy what you make, and you're pretty proud of like the music you're putting out. It's like you look at that stuff and it's just quite funny. It's nice to see like the progression, and you know, it's always good to look on.
I feel like whenever I try to force making a song, it turns out bad. I don't know. I like the best songs I made.
Yeah, but when you sit down and you let your brain go, it's the best way.
Yeah, it's just like when like I don't know why, but like everything good I've made, it's been an accident. I don't know.
Mm.
I can honestly say that I didn't intend it
No,
to
same.
happen. It just kind of
Yeah,
worked. I was like
happy accidents.
happy accidents, right? And then like
Yeah,
most of the time you're just making a loop. You're sitting down and you're making a loop and it sounds like shit the next morning. I don't know why. That's a
I
weird
think
thing
the
for me.
best habit you can get into is this is something my mate said, is work sideways, don't work down.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't like get rid of that loop. I mean, progress that loop as soon as you can to a 16 bar. Then once you got the 16 bar, you know, just work sideways, and then you can always fill it down. Because it's almost like, you know, you almost like it's a puzzle, right? Like the structure of a song. Like it's, you know the structure, and then you fill out the gaps in between. So I think that's like a better way of, or an easier way to make sure you always finish tracks as well.
I've noticed when you add too many when you keep adding shit to a loop like for hours and hours, it just never ends up being good. I think like like you said, work sideways, like do the main idea and then just do the arrangement as quickly as possible. Like
Yeah,
start with it,
and
right?
don't fuck around too long on the mix as well. Just make sure your volumes are right, like and stuff. I think gain staging so much more important than like a lot of the mix down stuff or like EQing or whatever. Like if your gain stage, if your tune is just gain stage correctly, like and you're using good samples and stuff, like things shouldn't be overlapping too much. You shouldn't be sounding too shite, and then you can just make it really tight and nice afterwards. But just get your idea out first and foremost, always. I think definitely.
That's a good habit I've been starting to do. Was like I used to just use the volume faders instead, like on the mix. Now I use the little volume knob in each samples, like where you like first, which is what you're supposed to, right? That's gain staging, where you
Yeah, you could just
just
do it. Any way you change the volume is sound. Like there's no. I think the way I work is a bit like weird because it's just a bit backwards sometimes. But if it works, man, it works. Like I know loads
yeah.
of artists that work in really awkward ways.
You see like people on IG, those mastering engineers tell you don't use the faders too early, or like they're
But
like use the
those guys are
last.
never fucking releasing good music, so I don't
Yeah,
know why I should listen to them.
yeah. I
Like
don't know.
that's like something I always don't get from these like Instagram influencers. Like uh, these guys, like I mean, fair enough if some of them are maybe releasing decent stuff, but uh, like why would I want to learn from them, man? like,
That's true. And that's why, like, when you told me
like
like the sausage
they
fattener
say they're good
technique,
artists.
yeah, when you told me like the sausage fattener technique, I was like, if good artists, great artists even are doing this, then like who's to say a mastering engineer who's like, "Oh, that's blasphemy? Like, fuck them, it
It's
works.
I think it's all a mindset with music as well, man. Some people just look at it as like it's maths or something like that. And it is to an extent, like, you want everything to be perfect, but surely you want to get creative with what you're doing and like you
Mhm.
want to do new ideas and like, actually I don't know, feel like you're creating something and not just like, you know, automating a process or whatever. Because I feel that's as much as I loved UK bass, I think it really held me back creatively because I would just try to do the template every time, but just different variations of the template, if you know what I mean. Like, and then sort of that genre stopped, and I was forced to go into different genres that I didn't know how to produce, so I had to kind of just naturally get creative, and it was the best thing that's happened because I feel like the music I'm making now compared to what I was back then is just a lot more interesting. Like,
I've noticed some artists you can tell like just by the way their songs are structured that their workflow is very like robotic, Just like every song, same start 16, same kind of thing. It's like
yeah, you can
it's
but you can do whatever you want, man. Like, I feel like so many people get bogged down in these rules of music. You can genuinely just do what the fuck you want.
yeah, people like I think one thing Distinct
Also,
told me what?
sorry, if my phone cuts off, I think I'm on 2%, and I don't know if there's a charger nearby, so just warning you.
Okay. Well, that's good for a first podcast. What is this like 30 minutes? Perfect. But like I think remember like 2 years ago, Distinct told me that like there's no rules in production when I first started talking to him, and I'm like, okay, that's fair because like I was hearing all this stuff from other people where you have to do this and you like have to do that, and now I'm realizing like you don't have to do anything really. You just gotta make it sound good at the end of the day.
100%, mate. And you hear so many tunes do well that have a shit mix down, but that idea is really cool and it sounds interesting. Like, I've got a track that me and one of my friends made in I think 4 hours, and then we just put it on TikTok. The song has like a minute of silence at the end because we exported it really stupidly, and then
Mhm.
the picture's just Hasbullah, and it got like 1.5 million plays or something, and it's the best performing track I ever had. And it's like it's so fucking random, and that just really showed me that like I can sweat all these hours trying to get the perfect mix, but just a good idea and some fun. And the reason that track was good is because it was made whilst I was having a good time with my mate, having a few drinks, and the vibe was good in the room. So the track was good. Do you know what I mean? That's what you got to create. Like,
That's true. I think it's more so how the song makes people feel rather than like, oh, is the mix perfect?
mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, whether it's funny, like sad, happy, uh, wants to make you move, like any feeling's good as long as it has that. If it has none of that, then it's shit. That's how I kind of view it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. Anyways, I think your phone's about to die, right?
Yeah, it is, bro. I'm on 1%. So
All right, brother. Well, that was a nice talk. It was good. It was like exactly
no, it was
30
good, man.
minutes.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. I had to do
Enjoyed it, bro.
something. I'm getting bored trying to apply to jobs. I was like, I might as well do something. Start a
Man,
podcast,
this is
maybe.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think it's been a good chat, man. So yeah, I think you should keep these going, bro, because
Yeah, man. Smaller
it's always
artists
something
get
to.
smaller artists on here all the time. Like people who like don't get enough recognition. It'd be nice.
No, appreciate you having me on, bro. But
No
yeah, I'm
problem,
literally
man.
getting a notification that my phone's gonna shut down in 30 seconds. So
All right.
thank you for having me on, brother.
No
I'll speak
problem,
to you
man.
later.
Yeah, you too, man. Peace
Bye.
out.